Hello and welcome to About the Albums, where today we're talking about the album Be Weird, Be Happy, which came out in October of 2012. And the thing with this is that basically I had done stuff like Negative and Admitted Defeat, some real downer stuff. And people were kind of saying, oh man, you do all these depressing songs, and like, is that all you do? And so to kind of break away from that, I intentionally tried to make songs that would be happier ones. But also, I'm not good at writing happy things, especially at the time. I was really bad at it because it's like, I wasn't happy a whole lot. So what I did was, I decided, okay, it's going to try to have this happy sound to it for a lot of them at least. But some of them are just going to be weird. Not necessarily about happy things, so that I could kind of make it work. You could also read into it as some kind of message of like, just be happy that, you know, you can be weird. It's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with being weird. And I don't know, that's a thought, but that wasn't really the thought I had when I was making it. So that's kind of the focus of trying to make my songs sound happier for this more specifically. And I guess we'll just see how I did.
People be weird. People be happy. People be weird.
The title track, Be Weird, Be Happy, is just telling people to be weird and be happy, and it's a short, repetitive thing that kind of just goes to really like start off the album, kind of help set the tone, and to be kind of this, you know, fun and exciting song with a lot of energy in it. I don't know. I mean, I think it accomplishes that. Although, I guess nowadays you might think like, okay, well, with the way people speak on the internet, it's like, would it be like telling you to do like, or not telling you, but like just saying that people are that? Like, people be whatever, right? Like, that's sometimes how that goes, but it's more meant in the way that's like telling you to do that, rather than improper use of grammar of someone like people are and saying people be instead of people are.
I wanna go home to the hospital. Call me an ambulance, get them on the phone. Oh, I wanna go home.
Home, hospital, is just about someone who just goes to the hospital so much that they see it as like their home and they want to go back there, and they're kind of just trying to make excuses so they can go back to it. And the song itself is actually kind of just one where I believe I kind of had like the idea, like one of the few times I had an idea for a song where because I was kind of like listening to some stuff by the Ramones, and I was like, oh, it kind of sounds, you know, like something kind of like this would be fun, like kind of simple and like kind of a catchy thing to like throw in there and kind of repeat, to be catchy. And so it was kind of inspired by that, and that's kind of interesting that for me, like, I guess the idea that I was like, I wanted to write a song kind of about like this idea, kind of, right? And I knew like how I wanted the music to sound, and so it's kind of one of the rare times where I kind of had an idea of how it would sound in my head before I started to make it, and then try to make it sound the way I wanted it to, and it came out pretty close to what was in my head. So that was like really cool, because usually I'm like, okay, I'll see what I can kind of find on down here, feel it out, and then I'll see what that makes me think of for like a concept and words and stuff. But this one was like, this is kind of what I want to write this about, and this is what the song kind of already sounds like in my head before I've done anything with it. So like, that was just, it's neat to have that happen, even if it happens rarely.
Sunday, Monday, everybody's winning. Sunday, Monday, everybody's winning.
Everybody's winning definitely skews on the weird side of things. I mean, I'm trying to make these sound like happier, at least, you know, notes and chords and whatever, but this is just kind of nonsense. Though I guess I like that I have the effect on my voice. My voice sounds cooler. That's nice. And also, some reason I liked the voice thing, and like it's up on like the instruments where there's part of it where you can have the lady counting as part of the drum sets. I think all the drum sets have the same voice doing those numbers that go up to 5. So that's, they threw it in there because I thought that would be a fun, goofy thing to throw in instead of like really like a solo for some of that part there. I don't know, or like a breakdown thing. It's weird, but that's gonna be part of this album in a nutshell. So get used to it now, or it's gonna just be uncomfortable for a number of songs. You've been warned and demanded to be weird and be happy in the first place, so really you should already be there. Take It Easy is just about kind of trying to relax and just kind of, let things happen, let stuff be, and just not stress out, like all you got to do is, do this. Just think about it. You got to do, and like, think about it, or just do a thing, or just don't do anything. And just take it easy and, don't stress out. Is kind of the point. It also has that cool effect on my voice. Uh, I seem to like my voice a lot more when I have effects on it because it sounds less like me. And that's good. That's usually good because I sound like me far too often the way it is. So, um, that's always nice. It's a pretty simple song too, and a little repetitive, but it gets the job done for what it tries to do, which is be happy sounding and also a little weird sounding.
Gonna take a trip. I'm gonna take a trip.
Take a trip. It sounds a little silly to put that right after Take It Easy, but whatever. It happens. Apparently more often than I thought. Uh, but Take a Trip is a little more, like, lyrically on the weird side. It's kind of nonsensical. Um, just, also, like, singing-wise, I think there's a few times when I'm trying to hit notes, but I'm not sure what notes I want to hit, so I don't really hit very good notes in some parts, and I don't know, I could have done a bit better there, but, I don't know, it's not really meant to be about, like, a drug trip or anything, and not that kind of trip. It's supposed to be, like, some kind of adventure to somewhere, some kind of weird journey that's just really cryptically spoken with these lyrics, and the music itself, though, I think is pretty neat. Like, I think it's got that nice happy tone to it, so it's a good, like, musically it's a good song, I think, or at least I like it. Um, and I also do have an effect on my voice that it helps, but it's like not enough of an effect, I don't think. I think basically the way it sounded to me when I was kind of hearing a preview of it or like testing it, I think maybe sounded different than the way it actually sounds and when the way it was picked up, which is a bit of a bummer too. But it's still a catchy yet weird little song.
Refrigerator. 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 Yeah!
Broken Refrigerator is about someone breaking into your house and breaking your refrigerator. That's the thing that they do when they break in. Which is a very weird idea. I thought that was really goofy for a song idea. And this version of the song is actually not the original version. I remastered the alternate version I did later that went onto the album Other Stuff, which no longer exists. And on that one, all I did was, I don't know if I had the original music or not still laying around, but I remember, like, essentially I had to, like, play it off of the computer. I did little things with that, and I remember basically using that as the bass to, like, sing another line over it, so, like, or another voice, another track of me singing over it, so the voice where you hear, it's like the high-pitched voice coming in, Uh, that's the track that was done after. Um, and I just kind of like the way that sounded. Even though like the music part sounds not quite as good because of the way that it ended up being mixed into things. It's still a really catchy song, and I think it works well. And I like that extra layer to the singing. And it was about all I could do because I didn't think I could try to re-record the whole thing. It might be tough to redo that. So I never tried it. I guess at this point maybe I could, but I figure since it's basically the same thing, just slightly better because of that voice, I decided to keep that one. Even though it's still a really weird idea.
Let's put some more work into this, man. We gotta get this done. Can't stop to get another pop can. We gotta get this done.
Group projects is about group projects. Basically the idea of like gonna stay up like all night and try to work on this group project, trying to plan what you're gonna do and who's gonna do what and whatever. And kind of running out of time to trying to get all these things done because I guess I don't know. My thought is like I don't know. I never had a whole lot of experience with group projects, but it always seemed like they made things kind of slow because it's like you're not in control of the whole project and the progress at which it moves. It's about everyone and how they're doing, and it's I don't know. It's not very efficient for most projects. There's probably some where it can work well, and you kind of need a good group for that to work well in that situation, but typically forced group projects don't really go over too well because some people want to do things, other people don't, and it's hard to necessarily just force a group dynamic to work. So that was kind of what group projects was about, and it just kind of repeats a lot, and it's not that great. It's a bit of a dud, but it still exists on this album, so I wasn't gonna just make it not exist anymore. That would be silly. What do you think this is? The other half of my music?
Finding everything, finding everything, finding everything, finding everything.
Finding everything. It's just kind of a simple, lyrically, simple song where it's just, looking for some blank. Can't find any blank. Um, I don't know. So that's like kind of simple, but it's supposed to be more of a happy song too. This isn't really geared to be a weird one, and actually musically, I think it is was kind of impressive because I don't know if I could recreate it, just like the riffs I did and layering them and some of that stuff. Just sounds really unlike me, and it sounds like it would be really tough to do it again, especially now when so much time has passed. I'm like, I don't even know like where a lot of those notes are. So it just has like a certain like feel to it. Um, there's something that's just not very typical of me, and it's almost like who wrote this song? It's almost hard to believe that I made it. Aside from hearing the voice singing and then the words, and you realize okay, he probably did it because a good musician would probably make that part good too.
Live life in the living quarters. Come on, the lines are getting shorter. They're starting to draw new borders. Living life in the living quarters.
Living Quarters is a song about basically this kind of like new like gated community type of thing that people set up, and there are just some like really strict rules and everything for people to be able to get in to live there. And it's kind of a thing where it's like, oh, it sounds like a really nice place to go, and then until you realize all these restrictions and everything, and eventually just nobody really goes there because you realize like this isn't really some great like utopia or something, or some great really great place to be. It's just a lot of elitist people being like, we only want a certain kind of people here, and so just not too many people bother to go in there, partly because of that and partly because it's just really hard to get in there anyway. So the song sounds happy, but that idea is kind of weird, so it sort of fits in with the theme. I also mess up a little bit at one part because I didn't realize I was doing the chorus again. And so that's why it's kind of like the weird offbeat, and I say like love life in the living quarters because I kind of flubbed the way I said live life. Um, and so I put it in there as love life, because it just sounded more like that. And now no one is any the wiser unless anyone watches this, and then whoever watches this will be the wiser.
Red one, orange one, yellow one, pink one, gonna have some Starburst fun.
Starburst Fun is based off of the candy Starburst. I think I just had some around, and I like Starburst anyways. So I wrote a song about the original Starburst candy, the four original flavors. And funny story about this, I actually posted the song on the Starburst Facebook page, and I was like, hey, like, maybe you want to use this for something? I don't know. As far as I know, they didn't. I don't think they even like stole it. Like I didn't really expect them to want to like buy it or anything or like give me money for it. Um, but I was like, maybe they might steal it and just like make their own song that's like professionally produced and everything, and just do that. And they didn't do that either, though. I think I got a few extra views on it just because it was posted there, though. So I guess that's good, but I don't know. If it's not even good enough for them to just steal, then what does that say about it? Maybe it's not as fun as I originally thought. But if you want to steal it now, go ahead, because I mean, I'll know I did it. I'll know it's mine. And if you want to give me money for it, then this video will be sponsored by Starburst retroactively. That disclaimer pending.
Just put in the number one.
Some ones is some more weird nonsense. Mostly built around using the voice thing on the keyboard again to say one a bunch of times, with a cool effect over the music to make it sound neat. Really just built it around that, and it works. It doesn't sound real happy, but it sounds kind of positive-ish. I guess at least doesn't sound sad, so there's that. And it does sound weird, so there's also that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of substance to most of these songs because it's hard to write happy songs with substance to them for me, as someone who, especially at the time, was not very happy, and also now currently, as well as back then, was just a bad musician. I'm a bad time. I'm a big bummer, man. But it's a catchy thing, so that's neat.
Only Rat Tuesday. Fast ran. Only Rat Tuesday. Rat fan.
Only Rat Tuesday remix is the redone version of Only Rat Tuesday, originally on Thoughts from Beyond the Mind. And I don't know, I call it a remix, but it's not really that. I didn't know what else to call it, I guess. To call it alternate, maybe, I don't know. But I originally just always called it remix, even though it's not just remixing the original things, it's redoing it. But just with different instruments not being tied to the same constraints as Thoughts from Beyond the Mind. It's because it sounds like a pretty happy song, anyways. And I definitely like this version of it better, because of like the things it does with instruments, and it's like the way stuff can be more coordinated. I don't know, I like it. The only downside to this one, though, is that the flute sound is really fucking loud, and I couldn't really do much to make it not so fucking loud.
I just want some service. You treat me like I'm worthless. I really don't deserve this. I just want some service.
Service is about somebody with no shirt and no shoes trying to get service and being rather upset that they can't. I mean, they're gonna give you their money, like they're just, you know. Essentially, this is kind of, I guess I'm thinking of like a restaurant or something. It's like you go there, you want your food, you give them the money, and they're just like, we can't. And mad about it. um, and I don't know. The only other cool thing about this one, I think, is just like I have like this wah effect on it, and it's like I don't do anything with it for like the song. I just leave it for most of that until like the end bit when it's like holding out the sustain of the last notes, and then like the wah thing goes from like, one end of the spectrum slowly like skews to the other. Like that effect sounds pretty cool. So I kind of like that little touch, but other than that, it's pretty simple kind of song. With a, dare I say it, weird premise. Premise. Pudding is a song that just has me naming, or at least using the all of the words from all the names of the songs on the entire album. That was just the idea. Is like I'll just use all the words in some way, and I just had the list of them, and I tried to cross them off. So it wasn't quite like the just a big self-reference of here's names of songs, but also like it's using those to try and create something that at least made some bit of sense. A lot of it's still pretty much nonsense, but at least I tried to make sentence structure still kind of happen. And I used some words differently than the way they're used in their titles. So that was kind of an interesting experiment for making a song. The voice effect is weird. Just then it kind of makes my voice a little wavy, so even if my notes are correct, they kind of wave in and out of being correct. So that was weird. And also, because this is not the last song on the album, it's weird that I also still used the final song's, words in it. But it made more sense to have that one be the last one. So let's get right to it. Most of them aren't what they seem. This is the credits theme. This the movie making team. This is the credits theme. Credits theme is about basically kind of like credits in like a movie or a TV show. Mostly like for a movie is what I was thinking when I wrote it. Just watching the credits go by and seeing all the names and their titles, and the main riff or like the bass line stuff, that's something I've just had for a while that I really liked, and I wasn't really able to make something out of it before. So then making this song was just really cool to make it like into that. I thought it came out really good, and it made sense to have credits theme be the final song on the album. Would be cool if somebody wanted to use it just for credits of like their little like their like video or movie or something. Like I don't know, that would be cool if somebody wanted to use it, but whatever. I think I also got asked before about the line in there as part of the chorus. Most of them aren't what they seem, and the reason I'm saying that, I guess, is because like some of those like titles are kind of confusing. You don't necessarily know what, like what is it, like a gaffer or a key grip or whatever. Like there's a lot of like just like titles or things that sound like really specific, or things that sound just like, I don't know, you never really hear them unless maybe you're in the industry. It's like, what are they? And also coupled with the idea that you might hear somebody's name, you wouldn't necessarily assume that they're someone who just worked on a movie, so that kind of works for both of those. That's why. And there you have it. That's Be Weird, Be Happy. Skewed a lot harder on the weird side, and I didn't do a real good job of making it real happy. But yeah, it's still kind of a neat thing. Some neat stuff going on there, and I would try and stretch my sound and my capabilities there of when I'm playing. I think I did an okay job doing that here. And I don't know. Another quick bit for you all you who still are in the pool here. Um, the little dangly button on this shirt is still on, so it didn't fall off yet. My light might explode though. So that's that's what we got here. So that's all we have for about the albums on Be Weird, Be Happy. And thanks for showing up. I got, the links and timestamps and stuff will be in the description. And yeah, just thanks for showing up. That was awfully cool of you. So for this cover, this is actually the first use, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, the first use of this image of me. And what I did was I took a picture of me doing that pose, and then I just made a white background, and you can still see all the artifacting around the head there. In this remastered version of the cover, I've tried to get rid of that. So the sky is also just one color now because I tried to get rid of the artifacting there. And so I couldn't make it blend in perfectly with the sky easily with MS Paint. I also, since I had that plain white background, I took a picture of a city from Google Image Search and just flipped it upside down. And that's how I got that background there, and also the cartoon pig. And also the glasses and mustache thing, which I've obviously, I guess I don't know how much you can tell, I just kind of drew over those in MS Paint for this remaster version of the cover, and I redid some of, I tried to kind of put in the text again, but the aspect ratio was weird, so I couldn't just get rid of the text in the top area. So instead of getting rid of that text, I just made similar size letters for each, and then tried to kind of layer them over it so it looks a little better, but it doesn't look a lot better. I traced around the cartoon pig's outlines and stuff, and mostly I was trying to get rid of a lot of the weird artifacting stuff where I could. But this is the first of a few where I'm using this me and the pig. They're kind of a recurring thing. And also, later I used the same, I've used it many times, but I used that same picture of me with my hand out there like that and the blanked out background. You'll notice it in the intro of What's the Deal with Sam, which came out not even a full year later, but April of 2013. So, also the the border of the thing here is all black. I just had it there so it would be the right aspect ratio. For when I was editing it before, it was cutting off in Windows Movie Maker, and I don't know why this was, but other ones weren't. They were just putting black bars on the sides. So I did this in order to make it fit properly, because it was being really fussy with me. So I also thought it was just kind of funny in that picture that I put on the fake glasses and nose and mustache thing. A thing of those is not really on there over me when I'm already wearing glasses, so it looks extra stupid and fake. I just wanted this to be really strange and not make sense. But both myself and the pig are happy, so I guess it all works out.